Hello, incredible people. Welcome to On with Orion, sharing information that people want to know. I am your host, Orion Holmes, and I am just so delighted that you all have joined me this evening. And before we get started, let's give God the honor and the praise because, as I always say, without Him, this could not be happening. Not with me. I'm telling you the truth. So I just thank Him. I give Him the praise, and we all should worship Him because He is wonderful and He does wonders in all of our lives. So we just want to thank Him, honor Him, and give Him all the praise and the glory. Now, what we're going to do next is that we are going to share, like, and subscribe so that people all around can hear what God has asked me to say. So anyway, this evening, as you can see, I'm wearing my Texas hat. As I said, I couldn't do it last week because my box did not get here in time. So I'm delighted to say that I have my box tonight. And I got my hat. And I'm going to tell you about the miracle of God. And this is just for those who really don't really trust God with everything. I had said when I was in Texas, I'm not buying anything extra because I want to make sure that I didn't spend too much money. I had spent a lot of money, so I said, well, I don't want to spend any more. So I'm not going to buy anything else. But I saw these cowgirl hats and the boots to go with my vest. I just said, I've got to have it. So what did I do? I had my sister to take me to the post office. And I had this huge box. As I said, I wasn't going to splurge, but I did. And I put my hats and my shoes in that box. And it cost me so much that my eyes went boom. I couldn't believe it. And I walked out of there without insuring my box. Now, being a Mary Kay beauty consultant, also, I have customers all around the country and everything. And if I put insurance on all of those, it would really cost me a fortune, because very few customers I have that I would even charge them. So anyway, to make a long story short, I left there without insuring my packages. But what I did say, for those who are unbelievers, I said, Lord, please let this package or packages get to their destination in the name of Jesus. And guess what? God has never failed me. Well, the package was coming from Houston, Texas to Fredericksburg, Virginia. And they told me, they said, well, it would be there in 5 days. That's okay. Well, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and Satan, you know how he plays on our mind. Oh, well, you just will forget it. You didn't insure it. What is your problem? And that package is not going to come to you. But I said, I will not listen to what you have to say, Satan, because I'm trusting God. I said, I am trusting God. He will deliver that package. So what I did is I trust God. And on the 11th day, I was pulling up to my door with my tax man, and there was my huge box, soaking wet from the rain. But that was okay. I had my box, and everything was in it and needed to be in it. Nothing was taken out. So I just want to tell you all, God has no respect of person. And you who are soft in your belief or you are not believers, think about what I just said. He has no respect of person. If he could do it for me all the way from Houston, Texas to Virginia without having an insurer and it got here, trust me, he can do the same for you. So I just say thank you, Lord. I give him the praise, the glory, and the honor for all that he does for me and my family. So again, I would like for you to like, share, and subscribe, because someone somewhere needs to be blessed. And I know that if you do that, they will be blessed. Well, let me just tell you, because I had to get my outfit on first, so I can tell you about what happened when I was in Texas. Well, it was very interesting, and I kind of like wrote some notes down because of the fact that I didn't want to leave out anything. So, as I said before, I was in 84-degree weather, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weather with no humidity, which was great. And I had a good time, interesting, but a good time. And as I shared, I really did, well, I can say I had some new experiences because I had never really been to a rodeo. And to see black cowboys, it was like fascinating to me. I don't know if any of you have ever been to a rodeo or even seen black cowboys, but the original name came, would you believe it? I had seen this documentary before I left to go there, and it was about these people who were Native Americans here who had never really met any black African people. And when they saw these guys, the first thing they thought about was a buffalo, would you believe it? Because the texture of the hair is kind of woolly, like African American people from Africa. And so they gave them the name cowboy. They were riding horses and all, so they gave them the name cowboy. And in those days, the Caucasian people were called ranchers in those days. But now everybody's a cowboy. But that was very interesting to me. And I did meet some real African American cowboys, or black, whatever you want to call it. But I enjoyed myself so much. And the first night was like a trail, I guess you could say a trail ride. When I got there, because I didn't want to miss any of that, I wanted to have like a time where I can actually have a kind of like a little privacy with them. And so I tell you, oh my gosh, this man of God, I'm really hoping and praying that I get him to come on my podcast and talk about his experiences being a cowboy all his life, riding horses, and very country, but very sweet, down to earth, and loves the Lord. So I met him and his wife and a few other cowboys. So that was really, really, I really enjoyed myself. That's all I can say. And you're talking about a dish. He fried some fish. All he did is take the yellow mustard that you find in a jar that you put on your hot dogs and hamburgers, and he smothered the fish with that. Then he put cornmeal on it, and that was the only seasoning that was put on it. And then he deep fried it. Oh my goodness. I said I was going to have to try that. It was so delicious. I mean, really, really, really delicious. So now I'm going to have to put my glasses on because I have to tell you about some other strange things that happened that was kind of funny. Well, they had their horses there, the several of the cowboys that I saw. And we had a good time. We had a really good time. And I remember going over near where the horses were tied up. And all of a sudden, one of the horses backed up and kicked the other horse in the face. I said to myself, that wasn't very nice. Why would a horse do that? Oh, well, I don't know. But then when they said, do you want to take a picture with the horse? I said, no, thank you. No, thank you. I'm okay. I don't think I want to take a picture with the horses. But that was really funny in a way, but then kind of weird in a way too. And I don't know if there was any kind of jealousy going on with the horses or what, but I guess all the God creatures have some type of personality. So anyway, that was really weird for me, but interesting. Okay, so I had a nice time with them. I'm glad I did get that opportunity because really, that was the only time that I had with these cowboys, really. So the next day, I was so excited. They said it's going to be a big barbecue. And all I could think about was, whoa, barbecue. Hot dogs and hamburgers and barbecue ribs and baked barbecue chicken and all the works that goes with it. I just knew that was going to be the next thing. Well, we had to walk about 3 miles. I'm sure it was, to just get into the right part of the arena, outdoor arena, to get to where the food was. And then I had to pay $30 for that. Okay, I didn't have a problem with that. So here we are. We go in there and we're walking. And I'm telling you, it was so many people. I felt like I was at Times Square in New York without it being New Year's Eve. I've experienced that. And it wasn't New Year's Eve. And it was like we were like little teeny ants all crunched together. And I mean crunched together. It was so many people. That was not what I expected. The funny thing about it is, whenever I would go to Houston to visit with my family, they just want to sit around and play cards. I came to have some fun. I know that Houston is a big town. I know it's a lot going on there, and I want to just get out there and have a lot of fun. Well, they sit around and play cards. After that experience in Houston, I said to them, the next time I come to Houston and you all want to sit around and play cards, enjoy yourself. I think I'm going to go take a nap, because I run around and between the podcast and my Mary Kay business and ministry, because I am a minister and blessing people through Christ and just doing whatever I can do to help others. I was very, very tired by the time I arrived. So really, from now on, they can do their thing. And when I get enough energy, then I'll do my thing. But right now, the way I felt, it didn't matter. But getting back to the barbecue, here I am. All of these people everywhere. Beautiful people with cowgirl and boy hats on and these sharp outfits. I'm like, whoa. And just so friendly. The people are so friendly, so wonderfully friendly. And here we are trying to find the food. Well, we ended up at this place and we walked in and there was so many people. I felt like I was in a can of sardines or something. It was like this. And they said, well, go over there. The food is over that way. And they were just dancing and shaking and everything. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, where in the world am I going to get over? How am I going to get over there? So finally, through all of the crowds of people, I was able to get to the table with the food. Well, I opened up the first pan, no food. I opened up the second pan, no food. I opened up the third pan, no food. I opened up the fourth pan, no food. I opened up the fifth pan, and I saw food. Oh, food. Well, I just want you to know, I had been waiting all day long for this delicious meal. So, and then after walking 3 miles, burning all the calories, I wanted to eat. When I opened up that fifth pan, they had these little teeny slices of sausage in that pan. And I looked at it and they looked like they had been sitting all day long. Well, I put some in the plate and then I went to the next pan and I opened it. And I said, oh, well, at least there are some baked beans. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah. So I took 2 scoops of the beans, put them on the plate, and then I had to figure out how to get out of the crowd without them knocking my food over and squeezing me to death. So I'm like, okay, how do I get out of here? Well, I had to hold my plate up high, and I didn't have any napkins or anything. I was like, oh, I hope that they don't be yelling and screaming and knock my plate over or spitting in my food by mistake or whatever. So finally I got to the door. It was like, oh, at last. And it was a guard out there and they told me, you can't stand here and eat. You have to go over to the table over there. So I went to the table to the side, which was no chairs, and I was standing there and I went to dig into the food, taste the sausage. They had no taste. Then I said, well, at least I got baked beans. I went and scooped up the beans, put them in my mouth, and guess what? They were just regular pork and beans that someone had taken out the can They put no seasoning, nothing on it. And I don't really know how you do barbecue, what you call it, barbecue beans or something like that they call them, or baked beans. But I do remember, I think they put something like some type of something dark in it. I don't know. And then I think they add mustard and they make them sweet some kind of way. And I know they have onions in it, and I know they're delicious. I saw none of that. They were just plain pork and beans that someone had opened up a can and just poured it in a tray. For $30, that's what I ate. And I was so hungry, that's what I ate. Yes, I did. But anyway, that was that. I could not wait to get out of the crowds of people. I mean, they were beautiful. I enjoyed watching them. They were very friendly. But we were like this in that place. It was just so many people. I knew it was going to be a lot of people, but I didn't expect it to be over 10,000 people. Oh, it was just a lot for me. A lot. But moving on, I ended up the next night at the rodeo. And that was the main attraction. And that's really why I came to Houston. No, well, let's just say I wanted to see my family too, because I hadn't seen them in about 3 or 4 years. But besides that, I really wanted to experience going to a rodeo. And I was thinking I was going to see lots of black cowboys, but that's okay. I did meet some, and I had a great time. There was women who were cowgirls. There were other people who were in the event, and it was really, really nice. So getting into the arena and sitting there and watching the show take off, I was so excited because I had never been to a rodeo before. And I tell you, they were roping the horses, and it was just a thrill. And then they had a group of young people who were very good at doing that also. But the highlight of the rodeo to me is when they actually jumped on the bulls. Oh my gosh, how dangerous. And they could ride them. And they kept riding them without falling off. And I was like, yeah. I never thought I'd be doing that at a rodeo. But anyway, it was so delightful. I actually got an opportunity to go to a rodeo. That was fun, fun, fun. And I said to myself, I would never miss another one. But what I did find out is that they actually come to Maryland, Southern Maryland, once a year, the Black Cowboys. And I would get a chance to see them do their thing on the horses, on the bulls, all the tricks and things that they do. And I'm really excited. So I got to find the schedule. And if you get the schedule before me, please let me know the schedule, because that would be so exciting to me. And maybe you've never been to a rodeo, and then maybe you have. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to it and meeting some of you at the rodeo. So I'm looking forward to the next one, which will be the year 2027. And I'm excited about it. So again, I had a great time, did wonderful things. But getting back to that horse that kicked the other horse, that still kind of puzzled me. What was that all about? Anyway, I experienced that too. And I met some really nice people the whole time. I even worked out one day, senior citizens, sitting in a chair, and we were working out. And I just knew when they told me, we're going to a senior citizen workout. And I just was thinking, oh, all these little old people are going to be sitting around like this. And I said, well, I can do that. Oh, were they not like that? They were on fire. They could move. They were doing things that I could not do. But I took deep breaths, because I remember, when you're working out, take a deep breath from the chest down your lungs and your throat and to the bottom of your stomach, and breathe gently. And I tell you, that instructor, he worked us. But I enjoyed it so much. It was so much fun. So I really, 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 really had a great time. And then one of my sisters took me to a restaurant. Oh my gosh. I can't even think of the name of it. I knew it begins with a P. Anyway, the food was delicious. I had never had seafood like that. With it was stuffed, and it was crab meat stuffed with no breading. I didn't taste any kind of fillings. And when you stick the fork in it, out pop a long shrimp. I said, this is very interesting, and it was really delicious. So I just want you to know I had a wonderful time in Houston. I spent 7 days there, and I can tell you, Houston is a wonderful place to visit. Beautiful people, loving each other, sharing ideas, talking to each other. And I learned a lot about the culture. They are really cowboys down there. They wear these hats every day and boots. This is their thing. But since I've been back here in Fredericksburg, I noticed I've seen at least about 5 cowboy hats. I said, I'm gonna wear mine too, because I like it. But anyway, that's all I have for you this evening. I enjoyed talking to you all. God bless you all. I love you, and I know our Father loves you dearly. Even though we're living in very perilous times, just remember, our faith is in God, not man. So I encourage you to continue to look upon God for everything you need. And I was just thinking, as the Holy Spirit put on my mind, go to the book of Daniel, the 9th chapter, verses 3 through 19. Read that out loud. And everywhere that they say Jerusalem, say USA or United States of America or United States. Put that word in there and see how God will bless our country, because we need it right now very much. So again, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you. Bye.